Hello, ladies and gents! It has been some time since we had some armored warfare content on the channel, so I prepared a little bonus video for you guys out there interested in the game. Today we will have a look at the currently available commanders, as choosing the correct one can make a huge difference, and as unfortunately there are more bad or mediocre choices than good ones in the game right now. So as of today, there are 10 commanders in the game, 3 of which were given out as a reward earlier. Don't worry though if you missed them, as you will see, you didn't lose out on much. Now before we have a look at each of them, let's just quickly look into what makes a commander really good. You can train each of them for a total of 5 skills. Levels 1, 3 and 5, you just unlock the only available perk and that's about it. At levels 2 and 4, however, you will have to make a choice between 2 mutually exclusive skills. If you changed your mind later on, you can always retrain your skills for a bit of gold. Now some of these skills will always apply, while others have to be triggered by certain conditions being fulfilled in order to work for a limited amount of time. These conditions can range from bouncing shots from the enemy to one of your crew members getting knocked out and everything else in between. One of the most important traits of a good commander is that it doesn't only have useful skills, but those skills are also always applicable and not dependent on RNG. You will see that a lot of the triggered skills are extremely situational, which makes them rather useless. Now of course, there are also skills that are more important than others. In most cases, improved aim time and reload time are top priority over anything else, as they can mean a massive improvement on your DPM. Others, like increased crew or module damage, are nice to have, but are less important, and again others, like improved gun repair time, are just way too situational to be good. Alright, let's jump right into it, starting with those infamous reward tank commanders. The very first commander you could get your hands on was Maximilian König, who was awarded as part of the Founders Packs available while the game was still in development. As you can see, he is lacking the most powerful skills, though both better vision range and increased crew skills can come really handy. The main reason why you would want to equip him is thanks to the increased reputation gain and crew experience gain, making him a useful commander to have if you want to quickly grind out the upgrades and crew skills on your newest machine. That's about it though, and as the grind doesn't seem to be awfully taxing in this game, you really won't lose out on much if you don't have him. The second reward commander is Fyodor Sokolov, for whom, interestingly enough, I couldn't find a picture for the life of me. Anyway, he was awarded for anyone participating in the closed beta, and we won't spend much time with him as, well, he's literally a carbon copy of Maximilian König, the guy we just had a look at earlier. Now this is actually quite disappointing, and I know that some of the Founder Packs buyers do feel a little bit cheated because of this. Anyway, the same limited usefulness applies to this guy as well as before. Moving on to the third and last reward commander, we arrive at Anthony Diaz, who anyone could get who registered early when the game entered open beta. He is basically a worse version of the previous 2 commanders, as he also gets the increased crew experience skill, but is otherwise a very poor choice. As to why that is, just look at the skill choices. Almost all of them depend on a crew member being injured or disabled, which is a very rare occurrence in the game as of now. Despite some more interesting skills like the auto-revive on the first disabled crew member, overall there are just much better choices for any vehicle type, so I wouldn't suggest handicapping yourself for a little bit of extra crew experience. Right, that was all the reward commanders, so let's have a look at the ones we can actually unlock right now. Working our way up, we start with Viktor Krishanov, whom you can instantly buy for 100,000 credits, which is not a big amount by the way. Though the question really is if you want to buy him in the first place, as he is not really that good. While he has some quite interesting skills on the list, almost all of them are only active when triggered. What's even worse is that basically every trigger skill has a different requirement, ranging from bouncing shots from the enemy to a crew member getting disabled, making it way too situational. Just forget him, there are much better choices out there. Next up we have another commander you can get your hands on right away, and this is actually one of your default commanders, Philip Holzklau. Unfortunately, he is, once again, not very good. The reason for this is due to the two most important skills, reduced aim time and reload time, both being trigger-dependent skills and being mutually exclusive to each other. Yuck. As some of the other skills are rather weak as well, I'm looking at you right now, weapon repair time and increased crew hit points, this is another commander you can comfortably skip. I promise we are getting now really close to the good ones, but first let's have a look at Ioannis Sana. At least he's an interesting concept. Ioannis can be unlocked from the upgrades of the LAV 300 tank destroyer at tier 4 in Worthless Tech Tree. His specialty is increased engine fire chance or length combined with increased damage on the enemy crew and modules. Problem is that at the moment engine fires seem to happen very rarely, so I'm not convinced of how useful this overall will be. Perhaps if you have a machine that is quite good in setting engine fires, you can try him out just for a few matches for basically to piss people off, but otherwise, nah. Finally, however, we are past all the baddies, so it will be a lot more fun as from here. The next guy is Rashid Al-Atassi, who is more of a specialist rather than an overall great pick. He can be unlocked by upgrading your Sheridan, found at tier 4 in the Shishkin Tech Tree. His specialty are guided missiles, which is actually a really fun weapon type in the game. We can either improve the reload time or the lock-on time of these rockets, unfortunately not both, together with a boost to the hull and turret traverse speed. The main drawback with him is that the separate generic reload time buff is trigger dependent, and overall we miss a few of the more important skills. Still, if you are driving armored fighting vehicles and would like to use rockets a lot, this guy could be worth a shot. And now for the top 3, and good news is, all of them are considered top tier. The next commander is Sabrina Washington, who is actually one of your default commanders. She is absolutely a tank destroyer light tank scout specialist. Just look at the skills she has. Increased vision range and camouflage, keeping more of your camo when firing, increased base capture rate, lots and lots of great skills for these machines, and most of them are always on. Even the only triggered skill is still usable. If you spot an enemy, you get increased hull traverse for a short period of time, allowing you to quickly turn around and get the hell out of there. Just perfect. Really, the only thing missing from here is the reload time buff, but otherwise she is an absolutely great pick for all those sneaky machines. Next up is another lady who you really don't want to mess around with, Freya Hojbjerg. She can be unlocked from the BMD1 at tier 4 in the Shishkin Tech Tree, and she is a great all-around pick. Perhaps she is best with SPGs and autocannons, however. Her skill set is nicely rounded with most of the important stuff being here, and with some more useful additions like the increased ammunition swap speed. Regarding the level 2 choice between aim speed and minimum accuracy, unless you feel that the gun is just not accurate enough, which actually won't be the case with most tanks, aim speed will always be the better choice. As for the tier 4 choice between rate of fire and reload time, rate of fire is for autocannons so they can empty their clip faster, while reload time is a general buff for the full reload. As usual with the best commanders, most of her skills are always on, and the only trigger skill is reliably activated as well, at least if you are playing an SPG. And last but not least, the overall most popular commander right now in armored warfare, Juan Miramon. He is a very versatile commander, but perhaps works best in MBTs. You can easily unlock him through the Swingfire, found at tier 4 in Worthless Tech Tree. All the best skills are here, including better aim time, better reload time and increased ammunition swap speed. Plus, as a bonus, the trigger skill for increased off-road acceleration is easily activated as well, and very handy for MBTs. If you are just starting out, try to get this guy as soon as possible. Alright then, this was a quick overview of all the commanders in armored warfare right now. Let's hope that the weaker options will get a revamp as well in the upcoming patches, but at least until then you have a better idea who will give you the biggest benefits. I hope you guys found this little video useful. If you did, thanks a lot for considering giving it a like or sharing it. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of the next videos.